Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be rating all of Volk's main wins, his title wins, just his main wins that you you would know of. We're gonna rate him 1 through 10, and it's gonna just be like a retrospective of his career because coming off his win on Sunday, he might be the GOAT. Top five, top three. I think he's top three best of all time, the featherweight goat. So, and he defied all odds, won the belt under the hardest circumstances. So, we're gonna just look back at how good his career was and how good he was, how good his title reign was. So, let's get to it. His first main win, Chad Mendes. Um, Volk got a round two TKO on Chad Mendes. It was a pretty good KO, not gonna lie. It was a great KO. Um, we haven't really. This is like the only time we've seen Volk really like KO someone, and it was good. Chad Mendes is no joke. In this fight, Chad Mendes legit dropped Volk. Volk got dropped in this fight on the second round, very competitive second round, and then Volk got a KO over him. Um, Chad Mendes, his wrestling is really good. He's a really good fighter. He was wrestling Connor before he got knocked out. And Chad Mendes, he only lost to Jose Aldo, Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar, Conor McGregor, just like the top featherweights at the point. They were the best featherweights at the time. But um, so this is a really good win. Chad Mendes is a great opponent. And it really put Volk into the title talks and into like fighting the top guys like Jose Aldo. But the only problem was that this was Chad Mendes' last fight, so um it's not as validated. Because Chad Mendes just left the UFC after this, but still great win by Volk. Chad Mendes is no joke. He's a great opponent. So yeah, we're giving this win an 8 out of 10. His first main win that put him into the talks of titles and shit. Next, Jose Aldo. So um, this was unanimous decision. Volk won by unanimous decision. It was a pretty comfortable win by Volk. Jose Aldo really didn't do much in this fight, but you could say the same about Volk. Volk didn't do much in this fight. It was kind of like a Mavar performance. I feel like Volk laid out the blueprint on how to beat Jose Aldo with just using the clinch, and he kind of just like put him up against the cage for most of the fight. But he did outstrike him on the feet. So yeah, but the Aldo. So it was no, he laid out the blueprint on this, and then it led to Mario Batista doing this to him. But Volk was the originator of doing this. But still, you can't play around with Aldo. I don't blame him. At this time, Aldo's only losses in the UFC were to Conor McGregor and Max Holloway 2 times. So he's not someone to mess with. You can't. I wouldn't stay on the feet with him. Volk did stay on the feet with him. He outstruck him on the feet, but he also just pressed him against the cage most of the time. And even after this was after Jose Aldo lost to Max Holloway the second time. And after the second time, Aldo got 2 KO wins over I think Moicano and I don't know, someone else, but I'll put him up on the screen. But 2 KO wins, so and then Jose Aldo Volk got a shot number 1 contender against Jose Aldo. Not the most impressive, not the most flashy, not the most entertaining win, but this was still Aldo when he was great. This is like he only lost to McGregor and Holloway, and he was coming off 2 KO wins. This is a great win by Volk, disposing, beating Jose Aldo this early into Jose. Well, it wasn't early, but beating Jose Aldo at this point was amazing for Volk. This was a 9 out of 10 win. Jose Aldo's no joke of an opponent, but it just wasn't. I gave this an 8 first, but I realized Jose Aldo. This was a really good version of Jose Aldo, so I'm giving it a 9. But you could give it an 8 just because the performance is kind of just boring. But yeah, Jose Aldo, 9 out of 10 win for Volk. Then after the win against Volk, against Al, after the win against Aldo. Max Holloway, he got his title shot against Max Holloway, which he he got a unanimous decision win. Volk, in my opinion, he won all 5 rounds. This was a 50-45. This fight wasn't that eventful either. I don't know. It just Volk just neutralized all of Holloway's offense. Like Volk didn't do the most damaging shots. It wasn't the most damaging thing, but like he just outpointed Volk outpointed Max every round, and Max didn't do anything significant. He just couldn't get anything going. Volk outstruck him in every round. Volk's leg kicks were just adding up. Volk was just neutralizing his offense, and Volk was also being good at the defense. But this was an amazing win. Holloway was the champion at the time, and he was coming off 4 title defenses, but he was coming off um no, he was coming off a win from Frankie Edgar, but before that he was coming off a loss to Dustin Poirier. But fair enough, Max was just not a lightweight at that point. He just wasn't adjusted to it, and yeah, this is a really good win by Volk. Um, this was Max's first prime when he was the champion. Like 4 title defenses, that's insane. And Volk beat him pretty easily. He didn't really have much adversity or trouble in this fight, but it isn't the most impressive. No, it was a super impressive performance. It just wasn't a barn burner. But beating Max in his first prime when he's the champion, coming off 4 title defenses, so um, just a great win. 9.5. I'm saving the number 10 spot for a certain fight. I think you know which fight, but yeah. Really impressive to just but yeah, this fight wasn't close at all. Volk won all 5 rounds, but at the time I think they thought it was close. And Holloway got an immediate rematch, which we'll talk about next fight. Let's go to that. So 9.5 out of 10 for the first Max Holloway win. And Volk, this is when Volk becomes champion. He wins the belt and his title reign starts. So yeah. On to the next fight. Max Holloway 2. Um, this fight was much more competitive than the first. I think Max fought much better in this fight, and I don't know, it's just Max was just in early in the fight, he was just doing much more pressure. Volk's grappling wasn't working too much, but he did at some points they were working, got a couple of takedowns, but um, yeah, I think Holloway was being much more aggressive this fight. His combos were working much better. His boxing is working much better. And but I think Volk won this fight. It was a close fight. Not gonna lie, very competitive fight. I think Holloway lost the first 2 rounds, and I think Volk easily won the third round. It's not even a debate. But people think that's the close round. It's not. Volk won that round pretty easily. It's just the strike numbers that they showed were wrong. Volk easily won that round. I think the fourth round was really close. I nearly gave it to Max, but I'll give it to Volk. The fourth round. So rounds 3, 4, 5, Volk. I think Volk won this fight 48-47. Right, very controversial split decision. People still talk about this, but I just don't get it. I think Volk won. It was close, very competitive, but I think Volk won. Um, he just won. He won the rounds, the last 3 rounds, and yeah. But super impressive performance by Max, and I feel like this, yeah, and he just Holloway came more hungry and better than the first fight. But I think this version of Max after losing the belt was really good because then he went on that to after this fight he went and did that performance against Calvin Kattar, which was insane. So I think he was just hungry. I don't know, but he fought much better this fight. Um, yeah, I think Volk's um and I don't think Volk's leg kicks were working as well in this fight either. So much harder on Volk. But yeah, close fight. I give it to Volk, but really impressive win to beat Max Holloway 2 times. Is insane in his own game, in the striking game to beat him in striking is insane. But close fight. good fight. And Volk beats him by split decision, and he gets his first title defense. So yeah, I'm giving this a 9.5. To beat Max Holloway in any form is nearly a 10, but I'm saving one fight for a 10, and I'll show, and then you'll see soon. So yeah, great fight. Next, Brian Ortega. This was a crazy fight. This is when Volk shows how good he is. Like this is the fight where we realize that why Volk is the champion. I think Volk got a bit of hate like before this fight, like with the Max Holloway with the close Max Holloway fight, but Volk shows why he's the champion and why he's gonna be around for a while. It was a 50-44, 50-45, 49-46 unanimous decision. I gave it 50-44. It isn't like Volk did a beatdown on Ortega, as you can see. Look at Ortega's head. It's fucked. He looks half dead, man. And it legit at the end of one of the rounds, Ortega was like pretty much dead on the ground. He was struggling to get back to the sea. But um yeah, Volk just beat down Ortega. And the most memorable part of this fight in round three, I'm pretty sure. Um, Ortega manages to get Volk into one of the deepest guillotines you'll ever see, and somehow he gets out of it. And that shows how good Volk is to get out of it. And Brian Ortega is a legit BJJ artist. He's one of the best grapplers in the division. So and the guillotine was his special and some it was a mounted guillotine. Mounted guillotine. How are you even supposed to get out of it? And Volk managed to do it. And then the next 30 seconds later, Volk managed to get caught in the tightest triangle choke. And he also got out of that one. And then he went and started smashing him. Like and he nearly finished the fight right there after he started smashing Ortega after those two submission attempts. So absolutely insanity. But something about this Ortega impressed me with in this fight. He showed lots of durability, and like you couldn't get this guy out of here, man. He would just keep going, man. Like and then because of that durability, he had some good moments too. He landed some um good shots on Volk. Like he had some good moments in this fight, and gotta give props to that after getting smashed that bad. So yeah. And this is Volk's second title defense, and this is where his prime starts. This performance is amazing, and this is like all the fights after this into like until he gets KO'd. But all the fights after this is his prime. It's just he's at his most dominant, he's at his best. And we really saw how good Volk is with this fight. So yeah, give this fight a 9 out of 10. And Ortega was a legit opponent at this point. He already fought for the title against Holloway, and I think he won this better than Holloway did. So yeah, good fight, 9 out of 10. Amazing. Amazing win by Volk. Onto the onto the next fight. Volk versus the Korean zombie, Chain Sung-jung. Um, this was just domination. This was a complete beatdown. Like, Korean zombie shouldn't even have been in here. It was a round four TKO, Korean zombie, he just couldn't do anything this fight. He was just getting pieced up in every aspect. And yeah, it was just a beatdown. I felt bad for the guy. They stopped it on the feet. Like, at the end of the third round, Korean Zombie, he was pretty much gone. He was pretty much knocked out. And the the doctor or whatever asked him if he wants to keep fighting. He said yes. And then like 30 seconds into the fourth round, he just got absolutely smashed with the hardest punches. And he was still standing up because damn, Korean Zombie's chin and his durability is insane. Like Brian Ortega, he's got such good durability. And yeah, so then Herb Dean just stopped the fight round for TKO. Great dominant win by and beat down by Volk. But in my opinion, I don't think this Korean Zombie shouldn't have been. Yeah, he was coming off a one fight streak against Dan Ige, and he lost to Brian Ortega the fight before. Um, so yeah, nothing much to say about this. It was just a beat down. Still a good win though. Korean Zombie was a legit opponent, but I don't, and he's still big guys like Moicano and I forgot who else, but he was still getting wins in the post military arc, but he's just yeah, he shouldn't have been in there with Volk. He's nowhere near with on skill level against Volk. So good win, dominant beatdown, but yeah, and this is the third title defense for Volk. So Volk's really implemented himself as the champion now of three title defenses. But you know what this calls for? I think this calls for, and Holloway's been proving himself against Yair Rodriguez and Calvin Kattar, two really good performances. So I think this calls for a trilogy fight, another title shot for Max. So let's see how this goes. So yeah, Korean Zombie, 8 out of 10 win. Good win by Volk, but I don't think this just different, just skill mismatch. So yeah, Max Holloway 3, the trilogy fight. So after pretty good, after just a dominant first win, but like not a dominant enough to not want a rematch, and a close rematch. Um, After some time, I think this trilogy needed to happen because Max was still considered like one of the best featherweights of all time, and against Aldo, with four title defenses and two two of them being knocking out Jose Aldo. So yeah, this fight was warranted. This rematch was warranted, and yeah, Max Holloway is coming off two impressive wins against Yair Rodriguez and Calvin Kattar, which is one of their most insane performances. And Volk went out here, did a 50-45 unanimous decision, just outclassed and dominated Holloway in every aspect, like in striking, in grappling, like this Volk showed that there's levels to this game. He showed that there's levels to this game. He silenced any doubt of just just any doubt of this whole trilogy of the rivalry between him and Max, and he just showed that he will always be the better fighter. And we got it's not like oh like, Max went and was shit after this. No, bro, Max hasn't lost. We're talking about current time right now. Max hasn't lost to anyone in the UFC. Okay, yeah, anyone in the UFC except Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Volk, and Ilya Topuria. The be- three of the best featherweights of all time, and one of the best lightweights of all time. Which I think Holloway can beat Dustin now in lightweight because Max Holloway's a real lightweight now. But um, Holloway went on a big win streak after this. He beat Arnold Allen, he beat Korean Zombie, then he beat Justin Gaethje, mate. So this just showed how good this win keeps aging over and over time. It is just an insane win. He dominated, he outclassed him, like, and he battered Holloway's face, and it's just like this is one of the best performances of all time. In my opinion, this is one of the best performances of all time. It's just so max Holloway, and this is the first 10 out of 10 because he is legit like you can't do any better. No one ever has done this to Holloway to beat him in every aspect and at his own game. It's just insane. Like you would never see Ilya Topuria doing a performance like this. Yeah, he knocked out Holloway, but I think this is the equally as impressive. But I think this is more impressive because Ilya's win. I think Holloway was a proper lightweight at that point. I think he adjusted to lightweight after knocking out Justin Gaethje. I think he was a bit drained coming in at featherweight, but still a really good win by Ilya Topuria. But this was Max's like second prime in featherweight. This was Max's like second prime, and Volk went out there and just fucking made him look human, man. And it's just an insane win. And I think this is Volk's prime. I think this is like the peak of his prime. This and the Islam Makhachev fight are the peak of his prime. And yeah, and it's just insane. And Volk's the only person to beat Holloway in all of his primes in featherweight. So this was you gotta watch this fight if you haven't seen this, and you'll know how good. And it is just an insane win. This performance granted a shot at double champ against Islam Makhachev, which we're not including Volk's losses in this video. We're just going to include his wins because we're rating his wins. But um, yeah, this is insane win, insane perform, one of the best performances of all time. Absolute beatdown, absolute outclass, absolute domination. against one of the best boxers in the whole of UFC, against one of the best featherweights of all time. Just insane. And it deserves a 10 out of 10. It's just, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece of a fight. It's a masterpiece of a performance. Volk proved and showed how good he is, how dominant he is, and just no one in feather. If Max Holloway is getting done like this, it showed that no one else in featherweight could touch Volk. So his only challenge next was fight Islam Makhachev. So 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 win. It's perfect. It is perfect. That's our only 10 out of 10 win on this list. So yeah, I'm going to the next one. So this is after the Islam Makhachev fight, after that insane performance against Max Holloway. Um, he went to fight Islam Makhachev and he put on an amazing performance that just keeps aging better and better over time as Islam keeps destroying these guys. And Volk managed to hang with Islam for 25 minutes. And just managed to not get submitted, just beat him down at some points and had a very close fight with Islam. So amazing by Volk. And during that time, on the same card, actually, Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett happened for the interim belt, and Yair Rodriguez destroyed Josh Emmett. So, he won the interim belt, and so after this fight, it was granted that Yair Rodriguez versus Volkanovski was happening, and that happened, and this fight ended in a round three TKO. And um, this fight, Volk's grappling was amazing in this fight. He really showed his grappling and his wrestling, like his takedowns. Like we haven't really seen Volk's like actual capability of his takedowns and his. We've seen his ground and pound, but his takedowns and actual grappling is amazing. And we saw that in this fight. And Yair is just not good on the ground. He's not good on the ground, and it's a big weakness of him. And yeah, Volk was smashing him in the first round on the ground. Um, Same as the second round, but the thing with Yair, on the feet, he's really good on the feet. I think he gets glazed a little bit because he just throws kicks, like flashy kicks, and he doesn't land most of them. But like, it brings the crowd a reaction. They go, ooh, when they see a kick, but he doesn't even land them. But he was still doing good. He was still landing good shots on um Volk. But and mate, Yair was cheating so much in this fight. He was like grabbing the fence. He was fucking reaching Volk's gloves, man. Even Herb Dean was like, "Oh, if you keep going, don't bring me into this fight." Like the actual Yair actual PMOs. Now he wants to fight Volk again. Volk destroyed him in this fight. Yeah, so Yair landed some good shots. He was doing good on the feet. But Volk was just too good for you. Yeah, yeah. Volk's counters he landed the absolute best counter and yeah, yeah, bang, right hook straight to the head. He had yeah, stumbling, backing up, started smashing him, mate, and landed one of the most clean takedowns on yeah, yeah. And then just started smashing him on the ground. And then got the TKO victory. And that was Volk's fifth title defense. So just amazing, just amazing. To the interim champion, Yair's no joke of a fighter. He's a great striker, but he just couldn't compete with with Volk's skill, his grappling, just overall mixed martial arts ability, and yeah, he got smashed. And some reason this guy wants to have a rematch again. He's demanding it after he beat Patricio. People are like, fuck off, bro. Fight Diego Lopez. But anyways, this is his fifth title defense. Yeah, he's a legit opponent. He's been around for a while. He's a really good featherweight. He's a really good striker. So this was a he's a good fighter, good win, and this was a really impressive win too because he really utilized his grappling and he really smashed him. So, um, but it was competitive on the feet. But Volk was winning every round before the finish. So there's only two rounds, but yeah. And I think this performance, I think it granted a rematch for the against Islam Makhachev, which did happen, but it was on short notice, and that really fucked Volk up because it was on short notice, and Volk got KO'd in the first round. But yeah, but amazing performance, and yeah, so we'll go on to the next one. Now on to the most recent fight, Diego Lopez, and After the getting carried by Islam, after the Rodriguez fight, he defended his title against Ilia Topuria, and he was doing good. Volk was doing good in that Topuria fight until Ilia's boxing is really good, and it was a quick turnaround from the vicious KO against Islam, and he got KO'd. He got KO'd by Topuria, and so yeah, um, that sucked, and he lost his belt. Um, So yeah, but since then, Topuria knocked out Holloway, so Topuria showed that how good he really is, and but then he vacated his belt, and now he's just looking to he wants to fight Islam Makhachev in lightweight. He wants to beat Islam Makhachev. So the belt's vacant, and you know what fight gets made? Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez, up and comer, coming off a dominant win against Brian Ortega. Diego Lopez, really hungry. He's younger than Volk, like 6 years younger. He's got really powerful hands. Um, he was knocking guys out. He put in a good fight against Movsar in his debut fight on short notice. So Diego Lopez was not someone to play around with, and Volk was coming off two bad KO losses, and also a 1 year layoff. And he was also 30. He's also 36. He's getting old, and you know what he did, mate. And so this fight happened for the vacant featherweight belt, and Volk won. Volk somehow pulled it off, unanimous decision, 49-46, clear win for Volk. Um, yeah, but and we saw vintage Volk, mate. Volk he was fighting like how he was like in his earlier fights, during his title reign, and he really was putting a beating on, Lopez. But Lopez did catch Volk a few times. He dropped Volk once after getting fucked up the whole round, and he caught him a couple other times, but that wasn't enough for Lopez, and just Volk was. Volk was winning in every. I think, in my opinion, Volk was pretty much winning in every exchange, every striking exchange they got into. Um, Volk was just his head movement was just too good. Um, his counters were just too good. Volk's jabs were the best of this fight. Lopez, he's got really good potential. Lopez, like he's got really good chin. He's got good cardio, but he just he's he doesn't have good head movement, and he needs to do actual boxing, like throwing powerful hooks isn't gonna win you fight. But yeah, Lopez wasn't moving his head enough, and it was just allowing Volk to just smash his head in with that jab. That Volk jab is just sharp. He's got such a precise, sharp jab, and it's so damaging too. He really was damaging up Lopez's head. But he was legit going in the pocket, and Volk's of this 1 year later, Volk's chin has improved. Like I'm not gonna go on about it too much. Like all this logistics, I was already talked about that in another video, but. Volk wins 49-46 decision, clear decision. Um, yeah, Volk's jabs and counters won in the money, but Lopez still shows good potential. Could become champ in the future. We'll see what happens when he fights another top opponent. But um, I'm giving this one a 9.5 because Volk. I was gonna give this a 10. I was gonna give this a 9. I was gonna give this a 10, but I said it was 9.5 because um, this could be a 10. This is whatever. You give this a 10. I don't care. Volk just Volk defied all odds. There was all these curses against him, like the UFC cover curse, the Drake curse, the over 36 in featherweight curse, like um, and he went and did it. The fucking crazy Aussie fucking went and did it, and he's a legend for that. He defied all odds, coming off two KOs against such a hard hitter. And somehow was chinning most of Diego's shots. So insane performance via Volk, and he showed that he's still got it. He's still got it, and he's gonna have it for a while. And he's the champion now, and I definitely think he can get another title defense against Mobster. So yeah, amazing fight, amazing performance. You can give this a 10. I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. Though. It is just so good to come back from all this adversity, all this problems, all these issues, and just come back and really show who you are, prove everyone wrong. So amazing performance by Volk, and this was an amazing win. I'm not going to give it a 10 because the Diego Lopez isn't the best opponent compared to his other opponents. I don't think Diego Lopez is the best out of all of them. But yeah, that's my rankings. And thank you for watching. The best, I think his best win is I think his best win is Max Holloway in the third fight. Absolutely insane win. You can't really disagree about it. It's a great win, amazing win. So I think that's his best win, and um, his worst win between Chad Mendes and Korean Zombie. But they're still amazing wins, and 8 out of 10 is still a great win. So um, yeah, Volk is an absolute goat of a fighter, and he's the best fit after watching this. You just got to admit he's the best featherweight of all time, and um, we're gonna have to start discussing him in the GOAT conversations. If he can manage to get another title defense, he's 100%. You can't deny it anymore in the top three best of all time. So Volk really is that good. Volk is the GOAT. He's the great. Alexander the Great. Volkanovski. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.